It's Dr. Chris.
He's Dr. Xand.
And we're
Identical twins.
Or we were until you grew your beard.
In this series, we've taken over one of the biggest children's hospitals in Europe, the amazing Alderhay in Liverpool.
We've been going head-to-head, taking on the hospital's most important jobs.
This isn't going well.
Ouch and About has been hitting the wards for more medical mysteries.
That is a hole going inside your stomach.
Yes.
And we've been meeting our brilliant ouch patients who come in for regular treatment.
Hello.
We've hidden our lab in a top-secret location.
And our experiments just got bigger!
You guys are crazy.
So get ready to join us. It's going to be out of this world!
What are you doing? Coming up today on
Operation Ouch! We mess up in the kitchen.
Oh, shouldn't have done that.
We push it in the lab.
Oh! And I show April something yucky.
What were you expecting?
But first...
Medical teams are trained to expect the unexpected.
Boo!
Told you so.
OK, now try me.
Boo. Waiting in Alderhay's emergency department with her mum is 14-year-old Charlotte.
I was doing a tap dance.
Uh-huh.
We do loads of lifts and stuff.
Go on.
And just ended up falling.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
All I've been doing all day is like out, 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 like that all day.
OK, how did it happen?
Charlotte was at school in dance.
Ooh, I love a good prance.
She went to do a dance move.
She's getting into her groove.
When she did a handstand...
Where did she land?
This is the worst rhyme ever, Xand. Anyway, it didn't go right.
Oh no, what a fright!
She fell on her head on the floor.
That sounds very sore. Ouch!
But I'm supposed to do a dance tonight, but I don't think I'll be able to do it.
Oh no!
Tapping his way to save the day is Dr. Johnny Wong.
I have a little examination of your neck, is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a little feel down her spine to make sure there was no pain when I was touching with my finger.
That hurts.
She's a bit sore, is it?
Yeah.
I was to make sure that her neck movement was okay, so she was a bit stiff.
That really hurts.
The worst case scenario, she could have injured the nerves going from the back of her head down her spine, which will give this tingling sensation in her neck.
Dr. Wong takes a look at some x-rays done earlier to check if anything's broken.
After some careful examination, he gives Charlotte the news.
You've got no broken bones, but what we're going to send for you is an MRI scan.
So, the x-ray is showing no bone damage, but to check there's no injury to Charlotte's brain or soft tissue, they're doing an MRI.
An MRI is a special kind of imaging scan.
It uses powerful magnetic fields to produce detailed pictures of the inside of your body.
MRI images of Charlotte's head will give the doctors vital information about her brain and the soft tissue around it to make sure everything is working properly.
I do feel like I'm in Holby City or something.
No, you're not. You're on Operation Ouch.
Yes, Charlotte, and it's time for your MRI scan.
There's definitely no dancing for this, Charlotte. To get sharp images, patients have to lie very still.
All finished, Charlotte heads back to the ward.
Ah! What's going on with that bonnet?
I needed to take my bubbles out.
Of course.
Now my hair is all messy and not as nice.
Well, we like it. Find out later how Charlotte gets on with her MRI results.
Ouch.
Did you know you're more likely to chew your food on the right side of your mouth if you're right-handed?
And on the left side if you're left-handed.
What side do you like to chew your food on?
And now to our lab. But this time we've hidden it in a top-secret location.
So secret that even Xand doesn't know where it is.
It's time for our last experiment of the series. Just don't try anything you see here at home.
Today we're finding out about a surprisingly strong muscle in your body.
502.
Wow, Xand, 502, that is really impressive.
Well, I've got to keep my muscles big and strong.
That is a good idea. Here, let me have a go.
No!
Xand.
Do you know what the strongest muscle in your body is?
Well, we're going to show you. Now, what we're going to need for this, Xand, is someone really, really strong. Have you got anyone in the cupboard?
Let me think. Oh, I've got the perfect person. Tiny! Sideways, Tiny. I've told you, sideways.
All right, Doc.
Oh, hi, Tiny. Now, you might remember Tiny from Series 1. He lifted me above his head.
Meet Tiny from Tottenham.
Yeah, we've already met.
Now, as you can see, Tiny has lots of big muscles all over his body. But which of his muscles do you think is the strongest?
The bicep?
It's a good guess, Xand,
They're some of the biggest biceps in Britain.
but they're not the strongest muscles in his body.
How about the gluteus maximus?
That is strong, but for its size,
It's actually his jaw muscle, or to use its proper name, the masseter.
Your jaw has 4 main muscles that help it move up and down.
all 4 work together to move the jaw down, but it's just the mighty masseter that pulls it back up.
It allows your jaw to exert enough power to chew through super tough foods, and so for its small size, it's the strongest muscle in your body.
Now, you can feel your masseter at home if you touch the side of your face here like this and slowly clench and open your teeth. You should feel it popping out the side of your jaw. Can you feel it, Xand? Tiny? What are you up to?
I'm almost there. Well, that was closer than it looked. We'll have a rematch soon, Tiny. Thanks for coming in.
Well, I'll be off home then.
All right.
Thanks, Tiny. So, now we know what the strongest muscle is, but why don't we put it to the test to find out just how powerful it really is?
And for this, I need...
The bite force meter. Its job is to measure the power of force applied to it, so we can test the strength of my jaw. Xand, how strong do you think your jaw is?
Strong. Not as strong as my hands, but still strong.
OK, Xand, well, let's put that to the test.
It's time for Battle of the Bite Force.
Now, Xand, squeeze that as hard as you can between your hands. Squeeze!
The force is being measured in pressure, equivalent to kilograms applied to the sensor.
3.8, 4.2, 4.7.
Must be some kind of world record, I would think.
Well, let's see. Now I'm going to put it in my mouth and you can read off the number.
Don't you try this dangerous scientific experiment. We can because we're doctors.
Bite! 28, 30.5. That is amazing!
Wow, Chris's jaw is 6 times stronger than my entire upper body.
And in fact, Xand, my jaw's even stronger than that. If my teeth were made of steel and wouldn't break, I could squeeze up to 55 kilos.
To demonstrate how strong your jaw is, we're going to show you what its strength could do to everyday objects. So we're going to need these.
Can of pop, a glass, and a mobile phone.
Ooh, that looks just like my mobile phone.
Now, we can't test the strength of our jaws using our teeth, so for this, we're going to need a special machine. This is a hydraulic industrial crushing machine. We're going to use it to crush things with a force of 55 kilos, the strength of a human jaw.
So let's start with Xand's, a mobile phone. I'm pumping the machine up to 55 kilograms of pressure.
It's not looking good for that phone.
2 metal prongs are crushing the mobile phone.
There you go, a phone crushed with 55 kilos.
Now for a can of fizzy pop.
It's squeezing.
The pressure's rising. Come on, Bitey, you can do it. Ah! And that's why I never bite my fizzy drinks. That was amazing.
So we've seen what our jaw strength can do to a mobile phone and a metal can. Now let's try a glass.
Here we go.
Chris gets the machine up to 55 kilograms of pressure again.
Oh!
There we go. A force of 55 kilos applied to a glass. All I can say is very lucky we were wearing the safety equipment.
So we've shown you that the strongest muscle in your body for its size is the masseter muscle, which squeezes your jaw closed.
In fact, your masseter is so strong that under laboratory conditions, we've been able to show you what it would be capable of.
But obviously this would be a stupid thing to do with your mouth, as you'd break all your teeth.
That was so amazing. I'm going to phone Mum and tell her about it. And where's my mobile phone?
Now I'm hitting the wards with my ouch bleeper, because we've brought Ouch and About inside the hospital.
Wow.
Dr. Xand!
Oh,
And I'm hitting the streets to answer your medical mysteries.
In the hospital, Chris is in a right pickle.
Oh, a question.
Someone's hungry for answers. It's from Ben, who's had a leg operation.
Hi, Ben. How are you?
Fine.
What's your question?
Why did he put orange stuff on your leg before an operation?
What's the diagnosis, Doc?
Sounds like a case of why do they put orange stuff on your leg before an operation? It's a sterilising paint, so it kills all the bacteria on your skin, and that means when they do the operation, no bacteria get in your body to cause infections. But the reason it's orange is because that tells the surgical team where has been cleaned and where hasn't. So if you're doing an operation and suddenly you notice there's a bit of skin that isn't orange, you know that bit of skin is dirty and it needs to be sterilised. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
There you go, Ben. Have a sticker.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon.
Bye.
I'm out and about on the street, and there's someone waiting to see me. It's Rodas, who has an allergy to nuts.
How does EpiPen help you when you have a nut allergy?
Well, nut allergies are very common. They're one of the most common allergies there are, and they can be very severe. Basically, your immune system recognises the nut as something bad, and you get swelling all over your body. The swelling is very dangerous if it's happening in your mouth or in your throat, because it stops you breathing. Now, the EpiPen is full of a hormone called adrenaline. When you inject it, it will tighten up your blood vessels and decrease the swelling and allow you to breathe again. So if you're carrying an EpiPen, you are safe, which is really important. Keep your EpiPen with you, all right?
Back on the ward, the bleeper's bleeping.
It's a question from Jamie Lee, who's just had a chest X-ray.
So what's your question?
Why are bones white on an X-ray?
What's the diagnosis, Doc?
Sounds like a case of, I want to know why bones are white on an X-ray-itis.
Make it snappy, Chris.
I'm going to try and answer that. But first I need to explain how X-rays worked in the past. We'd put a piece of film behind Jamie's chest, and the piece of film is white. And then we'd shine X-rays, which is like very powerful light, through your chest. The X-rays would pass through soft tissue, like your lungs, and hit the film, turning it black. But your bones, because your bones are made of hard stuff, a bit like rock, the bones absorb the X-rays, which stops them from reaching the film, so it stays white. The truth is now, we take X-rays using digital film, so we can actually colour them how we wanted, but doctors got used to seeing them the old way in black and white, so that's the way we've left it. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Good. I think you have earned yourself an Operation Out sticker. Do you want to stick it on your chest? Thank you, Jamie. That was an excellent question.
Thank you, Dr. Chris.
That's a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.
Job done for today. Clinic closed.
Chris, I wonder how our patient's getting on in the accident and emergency department.
We don't have to wonder, son. We can just find out.
Charlotte came to the Alder Hey emergency department with a bashed bonce.
Charlotte was in dance class when she did a handstand.
It went wrong. She fell and landed on her head.
Earlier, X-rays showed there were no broken bones, but she had to have an MRI scan to check nothing more serious had happened to that knocked head.
Dr. Johnny takes a look at the results.
I can't see any swelling or anything that would suggest there's any broken bones that we saw on the X-ray as well, which is good. So with the X-ray and the MRI scan, we now know that there's no nerve issues, there's no broken bones. We can clearly say that there's most likely to be a muscle injury, which is why she can't move her neck as well. She will get better in probably a week or two time with rest and some good ice on the actual neck herself.
Good news! But what does it mean for Charlotte?
Just need to do exercises 10 every hour
That's a lot.
so it doesn't go stiff and sore again. But I can't dance or do anything for 2 weeks.
What will you do?
I'll just have to do singing instead of dancing for a while.
Good plan. Bye!
Now let's catch up with our next ouch patient.
Hi everyone, it's me, Holly, again today.
9-year-old Holly has cerebral palsy.
This affects her muscle control and movement.
Last time, Holly showed us how she gets about at home. Today, Holly is going to physio.
I do physio every day, but I see my physio every week.
Holly comes to the clinic here at Alder Hey in the community to see her physiotherapist, Rosemary.
Right, the next one are like mini sit-ups.
These exercises help improve Holly's movement.
good control. Double high five on that. Well done, that was great.
We look after the body, but mostly we want to make sure that the kids can do what they want to do in the way they want to do it.
And I'm really happy with how it went because I've been able to move my legs and my hip a lot easier, so that's really good.
Wow, this looks brilliant. How often do you get in the pool, Holly?
I go swimming every Thursday after school.
The pool means that Holly gets some great exercise, plus it's lots of fun.
One of my favourite things to do is front stroke. Last week I did 150 metres in 40 minutes.
That's cool.
That was harder than you think it is.
Looked pretty hard to me.
But it makes me feel kind of free, especially when I've been stuck in a chair all day. And then when you get out into this pool, there's so much space and you can move everywhere, and it's really nice.
Nice one, Holly.
See you next time. Every second of every day, your brain is choosing what to ignore and what to pay attention to. But we all hear, see, and feel the world in different ways. There's one condition, though, that really impacts how you communicate with people around you and sense the world. It affects over 1 in 100 people, and it's called autism spectrum disorder, or autism for short.
This is Alex. He's 10 and he has autism.
So, Alex, if you have to explain to people what it's like for you having autism, what do you say?
It can cause me a lot of difficulties in day-to-day life because I absolutely loathe crowds and busy areas and people brushing past me.
Someone with autism is on the autism spectrum. This is like a scale, and different people are affected in different ways.
We've come to the park and set up an experiment to demonstrate how Alex's autism affects his senses. What I've done is I've labelled the faders, which are like the volume knobs, with different sounds. And these are all the sounds we can hear around us. And when you're talking, I know there's a bit of traffic, there's some birds singing, I can hear the kids playing over there in the playground, there's a dog barking. But mainly, I can hear you, and my brain can just turn all these other sounds off. Can you show me maybe what it's like for you?
I don't have as much control over it, so I'll just read them all up there. But then I might be able to block those out a little bit, but I can't block them out anywhere near as much as you did.
Being overloaded with all this sensory information can lead to something called a meltdown.
What's it like when you're having a meltdown in your head?
Well, I just really kind of upset and angry and suppose distressed, and then I'm really not calm.
Although autism can be disorientating and confusing, some autistic people are able to concentrate incredibly well on something they love. And for Alex, that's filmmaking.
We've come to the Autism Show in Manchester. With us are some of Alex's friends who often act in his films. What do you think it is about autism and directing films that those two things work quite well together?
Focusing on one task that he's doing at once. Yeah, he's very focused and a lot of the time has better ideas than us.
To help Alex's friends understand what it can be like to have autism, we're giving them these virtual reality goggles and headphones which will play an autism simulation.
Why don't you try it?
Do you know, I've never tried virtual reality before. I can hear every single noise in this room, and the light is very dazzling. And I can't focus on the thing I think I need to be paying attention to is this lady who's telling me to wait, but I can't understand what she's saying. Wow. What did you think of it, Jacob?
It was really intense of what was going to happen next.
It's very overwhelming. Like, you can't concentrate on one thing because there's just so much going on.
I thought it explained to me a lot more about how being autistic is. And it was kind of stressful.
You might know someone with autism. You may have autism yourself. But even if you do, it can be very hard to know what other people with autism are going through. There are a few things you can do to help. You can give people time. You can speak really clearly. And you can remember that someone with autism may be experiencing the world in a more stressful way. Most importantly, autism isn't the main thing about anybody. people on the autism spectrum can still do absolutely amazing things. And I'm certain that one day I'm going to be in the cinema watching a film directed by Alex.